because of your support. We closed out 2023 in a strong position, and we're ready to hit the ground running in 2024. That means continuing to build the Obama Presidential Center on the south side of Chicago. It means welcoming more young changemakers into our network. And it means opening more doors for boys and girls through the My Brother's Keeper and Girls Opportunity Alliance.
Barack Obama left the White House in January 2017, walking hand in hand with Michelle, smiling graciously at the cameras as Donald Trump took the oath of office. For some, it felt like an era was ending. For others, it was the beginning of a quieter, more dignified phase of leadership. One without titles but not without purpose. The morning after his presidency ended, Barack Obama did something rare for a man who had held the highest office in the world for 8 years. He disappeared from public view. No tweets. No press conferences. No long goodbye tour. Just a brief statement. Michelle and I are going on vacation. And they did, surfing in the British Virgin Islands with billionaire Richard Branson. It was the first time in nearly a decade that Obama wasn't surrounded by Secret Service agents, press corps, or constant decision-making. But even then he was thinking ahead. While the cameras turned to Trump, Obama quietly began building the next chapter of his life. He had a plan, and that plan was rooted not in power but in purpose. He settled back into Washington, D.C., choosing to remain in the city so that his youngest daughter, Sasha, could finish school. The Obamas moved into a brick mansion in the Colorama neighborhood, just 2 miles from the White House, but symbolically, it felt much further. Barack was now a private citizen. But inside that home, conversations began to take shape that would influence global youth, civic leadership, and even Hollywood. In mid-2017, Obama announced the launch of the Obama Foundation, headquartered in Chicago. It was more than a nonprofit. It was a long-term project to shape the next generation of leaders. While most former presidents built libraries to house their legacy, Obama chose to build a movement. The Obama Foundation was focused on one thing: leadership development. In Barack's mind, politics wasn't the only way to change the world. Change came from local organizers, young idealists, artists, teachers, and activists. The foundation launched the Leaders Africa program, bringing together young professionals from across the continent for intensive training in ethical leadership and community impact. In the United States, he expanded the My Brother's Keeper Alliance, focused on uplifting boys and young men of color. Meanwhile, the Obama Scholars Program provided scholarships and mentorship to students pursuing social change. Obama kept a relatively low public profile during Donald Trump's first year. He refused to be a vocal critic, choosing instead to let history judge, and allowing the new administration to function without his interference. But in private, he worked daily on the foundation's initiatives, handpicking board members, traveling to meet civic leaders, and drafting plans for the Obama Presidential Center, a campus in Jackson Park, Chicago, combining museum, library, community space, and public gardens. Outside of politics and philanthropy, Barack and Michelle took a bold step into popular culture. In 2018, the Obamas signed a multi-year content deal with Netflix, launching Higher Ground Productions. Many scratched their heads. Was this a vanity project? Were they becoming celebrities? But Obama understood something that others missed. Storytelling was power. Policy could shift laws. Stories could shift cultures. Their first documentary, American Factory, explored the tension between American labor and Chinese investment in a post-industrial town. It was unflinching, empathetic, and deeply human. It won an Oscar. Then came Becoming, a documentary following Michelle Obama's book tour. It broke viewership records and revealed the vulnerable side of life after the White House. Crip Camp, The G Word, Working, and other projects soon followed, highlighting disability rights, education, and the dignity of work. Barack Obama didn't appear on screen much. That was intentional. He was behind the scenes, greenlighting projects, mentoring young filmmakers, and curating stories that weren't about him, but about the world he wanted to leave behind. As the pandemic struck in 2020, Obama re-emerged more visibly, not in opposition to Trump, but in support of science, public health, and community resilience. He did virtual town halls with young people. He wrote opinion pieces urging calm and cooperation. When George Floyd was murdered, Obama spoke again, not with slogans but with strategy, calling for police reform through policy and participation. He used his foundation to publish toolkits, guide protests, and amplify local voices. He remained distant from day-to-day party politics but close to the people fighting for justice. In 2021 and 2022, as Joe Biden assumed office, Obama kept his usual tone, supportive but not dominating. He endorsed Biden, campaigned for Democratic candidates, but never sought to re-enter political office or become a loud commentator. He knew the risks of overexposure. His power was in discretion. Throughout those years, Barack was also busy writing. His memoir, A Promised Land, released in late 2020, became an instant bestseller. Over 700 pages of thoughtful, self-critical reflection on his first term in office. Readers praised its literary quality. Critics noted how even in prose he remained cautious. But what couldn't be denied was the level of detail and humility it revealed. A second volume is still expected. Meanwhile, the Obama Foundation expanded its international efforts. In Asia, Latin America, and Africa, Obama scholars and foundation fellows began taking leadership roles in nonprofits, government, and education. In Kenya, Barack quietly funded tech innovation hubs in Nairobi and partnered with organizations promoting girls' education in rural counties. In South Africa, he delivered the 2018 Nelson Mandela Lecture, one of his most powerful speeches since leaving office. It was a global call to reject cynicism, tribalism, and authoritarianism. He has also remained active in climate work. Though no longer the U.S. head of state, Obama has been a regular speaker at climate summits and sustainability forums. He advocates for youth climate leadership and supports community-based environmental efforts in the Global South. In private, he helps philanthropists channel funds toward regenerative farming, clean energy, and coastal resilience. His work isn't just global, it's local too. In Chicago, he has been actively involved in local politics, not by endorsing mayors or aldermen, but by investing in grassroots organizations working on poverty, gun violence, and education equity. In Jackson Park, construction on the Obama Presidential Center continues, with expected completion in the next few years. It's being built with union labor, community input, and a commitment to making it more than a building. Obama wants it to be a living, breathing space where people don't just remember history, they make it. By 2023, Obama had fully embraced a quieter form of influence. He rarely appeared on cable news. He didn't spend his days giving interviews. Instead, he chose podcasts, educational panels, foundation live streams. He stayed in control of his message. He preferred long-form conversations over hot takes. When speaking to youth, Obama focused less on his own story and more on theirs. He urged young people to vote, organize, take care of their mental health, and think beyond popularity. He told them that progress was not a sprint, it was a relay. And he had passed the baton. As of 2025, Barack Obama is 63 years old. He's healthy, athletic, still plays pickup basketball and takes long walks with Michelle and their dogs. He reads obsessively. He writes. He listens. He jokes with friends about finally learning to cook. He loves jazz, reads African literature, and collects old maps. But don't mistake his peaceful exterior for retirement. He is still working, just differently. Unlike other former presidents who cash in on the speaking circuit, Obama has capped his fees. He gives lectures at universities and nonprofits. But most of his work is unpaid, service-driven. In closed-door meetings, he still speaks to world leaders. Not as a boss, but as a respected elder statesman. He's helped broker dialogue between conflicting civil society groups in Ethiopia. He's advised youth peace organizations in South Sudan. He's offered virtual mentorship to leaders from Colombia to Cambodia. When Kenya faced electoral tensions in 2022, Obama made a quiet visit, not to endorse candidates but to promote peace. He met with clergy, educators, and youth leaders. He avoided media attention. His goal was not to headline but to guide. He has also remained an avid supporter of the arts. Through Higher Ground, he funds creative writing programs, photography projects, and public murals in marginalized communities. He believes stories heal, and that society thrives when it invests in imagination. Critics say he's too quiet, that he could speak out more forcefully against injustice, that his calm, thoughtful demeanor doesn't match the urgency of the times. But others argue that Obama is doing something more radical, showing the world that leadership after office doesn't have to be about ego. It can be about legacy. It's tempting to compare him to other former leaders. But Barack Obama is not modeling his life on precedent. He's creating a new one. One where a former president is not a relic or a brand, but a mentor, a teacher, a cultivator of others. He no longer commands armies, but he empowers networks. He no longer signs laws, but he shapes the minds of those who will. And maybe that's the point. True leadership doesn't always live in the spotlight. Sometimes it's what you do when the cameras are off. Sometimes it's what happens when you don't need the credit. So where is Barack Obama now? He's in the classroom mentoring, in the edit room producing, in the community listening, in the world watching, still shaping the future, not from a throne but from the ground. Thank you for watching. Now it's your turn. Do you think Barack Obama is still one of the most influential people in the world today? What do you admire or question about the way he's lived after leaving the presidency? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Keep it respectful. Let's talk legacy, impact, and the quiet power that still moves mountains. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more thoughtful stories about the people who shape the world, even when the spotlight moves on.
I often say that nothing's more powerful than ordinary people coming together to push for change and bring us closer to our highest ideals. You're far from ordinary, but that's exactly what you and thousands of other Obama Foundation supporters have done. So, from the bottom of my heart, thanks again for helping us to inspire and empower and connect people around the world.